Let's make a scrappy quilt. I have some scraps left over from a quilt that I just finished, and I always get lots of comments whenever I do a scrappy quilt of people saying, I have lots of scraps, but I don't know how to put them together. Guess what? I don't either. That's what's fun. That's what really stokes your creative brain. Sometimes you just grab fabric and you start sewing it together. Sometimes I take leftover pieces and I kind of go with what's already happening. This particular quilt had some that were strip pieced, and I have some of those left over. I have some bigger pieces that I can cut down, and I also have some bigger pieces that are kind of like fat quarter size. I can cut those into strips and make some more of these. And we're just gonna kind of go with that theme, and we're just gonna see what we turn it into. I have no plans. I have no pattern. I have no idea how many pieces this is gonna turn into or how the colors are gonna go together. We're just gonna start cutting and throwing them together. So now I've cut all of my strips into 3.5 inch wide strips. If you wanna follow along with what I'm doing, that's what I've done. There's a lot of them. And to make these, you'll see I have 2 of these colors and 1 of these. The way that we make those is by pairing 2 of those strips with 1 of another. So I've paired all of these, 2 of these with 1 of these. So I have 2 of these, 1 of these. And I just went through everything that I had and paired them up that way. Then we sew them into rows of 3 like this. And you can see with these scraps, I didn't have enough for 1 whole strip. And so I just sewed these 2 together. And that's how you make the most out of your scraps. So I'm gonna end up cutting these into 3.25 widths like this. And then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Now I'll give you a little tip. When you do this, make sure that you have one of your straight lines going along the seams, and then that way you can make sure that you're getting a straight cut as you cut along like this and you're not getting off on your cutting. All right, so these are fat quarters, and from selvage to selvage, I cut those off. I'm getting 6 of them like that. So I'll add those to my pile and I just keep going. Now I've taken all of those strips and I've matched 2 of one and 1 of the other, and I've sewn them together into blocks like this, and I'm just pressing the seams open, but you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna put on a good movie and I'm gonna be here all day today. Next, we need to trim them all. So these are gonna be 8 3/4 across and 9.5 wide. And I'm gonna be doing mine a throw size. So I want 8 by 9. So that's gonna give me 72 blocks. And then once you have all of your blocks trimmed, you wanna lay them out where you don't have any of the similar fabrics touching. I like to use a design wall, which is basically just insulated foam boards from the hardware store, Home Depot, whatever. And I cover it in a flannel fabric that I have pinned up there, and all of your fabric will stick to it. It is perfect and cheap. So this is always my method when I have scrappy quilts, because then I can just throw them up there and readjust them as I need to, so that I make sure that all of my scrappy colors are kind of spread out how I need them to be. So here's the final layout. It's a nice little patchwork kind of quilt, very chaotic and Tula-esque. So if you're following along still, I put the long ways going horizontal. So this is my 9.5 and this is my 8 3/4. So now I just need to grab these and start sewing my rows together, and then she'll be all ready to go. Now remember, we have 8 going across and we have 9 going down.